What's up, guys? Josh Mosman here. Welcome to This Week in MXA, episode number 54, presented by O'Neill Racing. Thank you guys for tuning in. In this video, we're talking all about the Anaheim 1 Supercross, our predictions for who I think is going to do well and who might be struggling at the first round. Also going to talk about 250 East and 250 West and which riders should and should not do each coast. Also going to give away 2 free tickets to the Oakland Supercross, which is round 2 this year. Stay tuned to this video to learn how you can win those tickets and get caught up on everything you need to know for Anaheim 1. Starting things off with why the riders should be nervous right now and why you as a fan should be excited right now. Anaheim 1 Supercross is the biggest dirt bike race in the world year-round. You have the most motorcycle sales coming from the US. The most highly concentrated area for motorcycle sales is Southern California. So you have a lot of people in Southern California watching this race. Everybody's got their eyes on this race because riders have switched teams, riders have switched trainers. They've had 4 months off to get ready for the upcoming season. Everybody has their eyes on Anaheim 1. It's an iconic race. It represents where Supercross really started here in the US. And to add to that, all the riders are going to be healthy. For the most part, there's not too many guys that get injured in the off season. Usually that happens during the season or in between races during the season. So Anaheim 1 has the longest list of healthy riders, and it just has a lot of prestige around it for winning. So Justin Barcia, he's won it the last 3 years. Let's take a little bit of a look at last 2 season openers and talk about those races before we talk about Anaheim 1 this year. Taking a look at the last 3 years of season openers for 450 Supercross, Justin Barcia won in the mud on his Yamaha in 2019. He won again in 2020 at Anaheim when he battled with Adam Cianciarulo. Adam led for a few laps. It was his rookie 450 Supercross main event. Coming off of his 2019 Monster Energy Cup win, Adam Cianciarulo led, but he made a mistake. Justin Barcia led, he made a mistake, but ultimately it was Justin Barcia that won at Anaheim 1 in 2020. Then fast forward 2021, the season opener was at Houston Supercross. There were no races in Southern California or in California in general last year, 2021, due to COVID restrictions. Justin Barcia again won the season opener at the Houston Supercross on his new gas ride. So looking forward to Anaheim 1 this weekend. There's a long list of riders that have made changes to their teams. Some riders like Cooper Webb have updated bikes, so new programs, new bikes to learn for 2022. Justin Barcia has the same bike, same team, and he has a track record for coming out strong at the season opener. It's going to be very interesting to see how he does. Personally, I'm going to throw it out there and say that it could be an all-red podium first round of the season this year, Anaheim 1 Supercross. All red meaning gas, but also 2 Hondas. Ken Roczen and Chase Sexton are good riders. They're fast riders, and they're also on red bikes like the gas. But they're also, like Justin Barcia, on the same bike they were last year. They got a year's worth of experience on the updated CRF 450 from Honda. And I think that's going to play well into Anaheim for them. They're at the same team, same bike. They're going to be comfortable. Cooper Webb and Marvin Muskin, those guys got brand new motorcycles and new training programs. Aaron Plessinger, he's got a new KTM. Malcolm Stewart, he's got a new Husqvarna. Dylan Ferrandis, he's coming off a 450 championship, but he's not quite as experienced in the 450 Supercross class. Eli Tomac, he switched from Kawasaki to Yamaha. Jason Anderson switched from Husqvarna to Kawasaki. Adam Cianciarulo, there's rumors that he had a crash recently, so that we think he's going to be at Anaheim, but he might be a little bit banged up right now. So there's question marks around him. So long story short, the red guys, Ken Roczen, Chase Sexton on Hondas, Justin Barcia on the gas, looking pretty strong coming into Anaheim 1 this year. Next up, let's talk about the 250 class. So the 250 class is split into 2 divisions. You got the West division, which starts first, and the East division that starts about 7 or 8 weeks later. And strategically, 250 factory teams and 250 top tier teams, they have their guys set and training during off-season Supercross, and they pick the fastest guys, the ones that are most ready to race at Anaheim 1 and do the West Coast series. And then they pick the guys that need a little more time. They might be recovering from an injury or have some other nagging things going on to race the East Coast Supercross, because it gives them about another month and a half of lead up time to prepare, get the bike set up, get the rider set up, and get them feeling comfortable before the first round of Supercross starts. So traditionally, we get the best riders and the fastest riders racing on the West Coast. Why is that? Well, because they're usually the fastest guys in the off season that get picked first to go racing. So it sounds like Honda is probably going to put Jet Lawrence up first. Sounds like Gas will probably put my brother Michael Mosman up first. Looking at the Star Racing Yamaha team, they have Justin Cooper, who won the championship last year in the 250 West division. It's likely that they'll put him on the West again so that he can defend his title and run that #1 plate, which is a great marketing scheme for Yamaha and all of the Yamaha sponsors. And it's also just strategic for Yamaha and for Star Racing to put Justin Cooper in that position. He's done well at Anaheim. He won the last time the 250 class raced at Anaheim back in 2020. So it's a strong idea for them. Looking at Pro Circuit Kawasaki, Joe Shimoda has been looking great in the offseason. He's gained a lot of experience. He won at the first Salt Lake City Supercross last season. And so he's coming in with some momentum. He also won at the last national, the Hangtown National. So Joe Shimoda, I expect him to be on the West Coast. I'm not really sure about the rest of the Monster Energy Pro Circuit guys, where they'll end up. And then looking at KTM, Max Vohland, he's got a brand new motorcycle. We heard Roger DeCoster talk about it a month ago, or about 3.5 weeks ago at the KTM team intro. They only had one engine and it was a month away until Anaheim. So that bike is new. Getting parts for it is tough. Developing that engine and making it to the best of its ability, making its mod out as they can, is going to be tough. So Max Vohland, he's going to wait until the East Coast Series, give KTM a little more time to develop that bike, give him more time to get used to that bike. I've also heard that Rockstar Husky will probably put RJ Hampshire on the East Coast. He's their most experienced 250 rider. That'll give them more time to develop that bike and him more time to get comfortable on it. They also have J-League Swoll and Styles Robertson. I expect the team to just put one of those guys on the West Coast and let the other two get ready for East Coast Series. So a lot of changes. Christian Craig, he's a West Coast guy. He grew up here. He does live in Florida now with the Star Racing Yamaha team, but I expect they'll probably put him on West because he's got a lot of experience at Anaheim. He's done well on the more hard pack tracks. So looking at East versus West, who's going to race where? The two major factors are who's ready to go racing now at Anaheim 1, who's performing at the top of their game at the end of December, getting ready to head into January. And you got to look at who's better on hard pack tracks and who's better on the rutted, softer tracks, because traditionally West Coast tracks are always a lot more hard pack and slick, where the East Coast tracks are a lot softer and more rutted. And I'll tell you from experience, it is challenging to ride a soft, rutted Supercross track on the East Coast. So it's going to be interesting. Looking forward to Anaheim 1 and seeing who shows up where. And barring any injuries, we are looking at a very exciting 2022 Supercross season. Next up, we have 2 tickets that we're giving away to round 2 at Oakland Supercross the next weekend. If you're wanting to win those free tickets, leave a comment down below on our YouTube channel on this video to get signed up to win those tickets. It's going to be picked at random, and to enter to win, all you have to do is comment on our YouTube channel. Let us know who you think is going to win the 450 class and the 250 class and explain why you think they're going to win. And then we will contact you on the comment to get your email and get your information after picking a random winner, and we'll give you 2 free tickets to the Oakland Supercross. So that's exciting. Enter to win by leaving a comment on this YouTube video. Next up, we're going to hear from Trey Kennard from a little interview that I did with him the other day, and he talks a little bit about Ken Roxon, Chase Sexton, Jet Lawrence, and Hunter Lawrence, and he explains why he thinks each one is going to do well in 2022. He's got some good insight on those guys, so let's hear from him now.
Man, I know that everyone in this time of year is always talking about, you know, how everyone's made such improvements and they're better now than they've ever been and all that, but I really am like very optimistic about our team's future. You know, I think I really believe that Ken is going to be better than he was last year, and he was great, especially at times last year. There was just a few moments where, you know, the championship slipped away, but I think those are going to be fewer this year. I think he's going to be really good and strong and continually be consistent. I really think Chase is going to be. There was just some moments last year where you could see that he was a rookie on the 450, and I think those are going to be fewer and far between this year. And I really believe he's going to win some races. And I just think what we've done with the bike we've built off of last year, and we were good last year. We just weren't. There were times where we weren't good enough, and I really think the things that we've done are going to put us on that top level consistently. And then, you know, as far as Jet's concerned, he's at a point in his career and just personally for him that it's hard to do wrong sometimes, you know, which is which is you want to hold on to that, because it's hard to find. And I think if he can hold on to that, I think he could easily win the Supercross championship this year and hopefully back up that Motocross championship. I shouldn't say easily. No championship is easy anymore. It's really difficult and so many good riders. So, but he's just riding so good, and coming off a lot of confidence, and that really helps going into a new season. Hunter, I think last year for me, like as hurt as I was in my career, I know how difficult it is to put a whole year together. So I'm really happy for him to have not only put a good full season together, but to have won some races, and I think that's really going to help him come into this year, especially with Supercross. He's a phenomenal outdoor rider, but for him to have that experience and then be able to bring that into this coming year, I think is going to really help him moving forward.
All right, guys, and more information about Anaheim 1 Supercross. For the fans, there are no special requirements, no masks needed, no vaccine passports needed, and nothing else needed for Anaheim 1 Supercross. It's going to be like a traditional Supercross. Fans in the stadium, I am personally super excited for that. As for the media, when you guys look down into the pits and see me walking around with the camera and Trevor Nelson and Travis Fant and the rest of the MXA guys run around taking pictures. Also, we won't have to be wearing masks either right now, so looking forward to that. Glad that we'll be able to see each other's faces at Anaheim 1 Supercross this year. If you guys want to know a little bit in-depth details for racers, media, and kind of the people that are working at Supercross, the deal is for 2022 is that riders, crew members, and media members that aren't vaccinated, they'll have to get a COVID test at each Supercross. So I'll have to get tested at each Supercross. For the riders, crew personnels, and media members who are vaccinated, they get a media pass, so they get a season pass, and they won't have to get tested each weekend. But that's what it's going to look like at Anaheim 1. We're excited to go back racing. I'm excited that we're going to be racing in California again this year. It's going to be a lot of fun. So looking forward to Anaheim 1 Supercross. If you see me running around at the track with a camera in my hand, stop by, say hi, and maybe you could be on This Week in MXA episode 55 the following week. So thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys in the next one.